after the delivery of the letters up to Cornyn's office, we're going to give that a few minutes, and then we're going to, a group of us are going to do a civil disobedience, a peaceful, we're going to make that clear in all of our statements, a peaceful, nonviolent, this is nonviolent, and hope all the speakers will reiterate this is a nonviolent, peaceful, exercising our right, constitutional right to freedom of assembly.
Just like the last days.
Right. And so we are going to do our little action blocking the sidewalk somewhere around off of the front door. And so what I'm...
David Whitty with Adaptive Texas here once again.
And so before we get to the actual program, I wanted to take a few moments to thank the wide array of groups that helped organize this demonstration. So we stand here together from groups such as ADAPT, the Austin Democratic Socialists of America, Central Austin People Power, Indivisible Austin, Our Revolution Central Texas Region, Our Revolution North Austin, Our Revolution Williamson County, TARA, the Texas Alliance for Retired Americans, Texas Drought Project, Progressive Democrats of America. Are there any other groups here? Children's Defense Fund of Texas. Anyone else? 350 Austin. So you guys can see that we have a wide array of groups here gathered for this cause. Again, before we get started, I will stress that we are here and we are committed to a peaceful, non-violent protest, simply exercising our constitutional right to peaceful assembly on this sidewalk. There are some rules for that, so if anyone shows up, we need to make sure that we're circulating a little bit as to not be blocking the sidewalk or blocking the doors. So I would try to encourage a little bit of movement as we are going through our speakers today. Now that that's said and done, I'll point out that we are not alone gathered here in Austin today. Across the country, we are joined by 30 other groups that have organized sit-ins across 20 states, including over 1,000 people that have volunteered and been trained to conduct some civil disobedience direct actions to protest this bill that the Senate is trying to push through. And Chris and David, I think, will tell us a little bit exactly about why we're here and why this bill is bad.
Why are we here? We're here because this is a bad bill. We all know this is a really bad bill. We know that millions of Americans are standing to look like they're going to lose their health care. We know this will increase the number of people who are insured by 22 million by 2026. The Congressional Budget Office also estimates that the Medicaid will suffer from a $772 billion reduction between 2017 and 2026. And although estimates vary, we do think that there are 100,000 preventable deaths per year. 100,000 preventable deaths per year that will come from this bill. This bill will literally kill people by taking away their health care. And we also know that this bill is being funded. It's also a massive tax break for the rich, that 40% of the tax breaks in this bill go to Americans that make over $1 million per year in annual income. So it kills the poor, it kills our neighbors, it kills people we know and love. It takes away their health care, it leaves them with bad health care while giving massive cuts to the rich. This is a horrible, horrible bill.
Well, my friend Dennis Burrell always says, this is not a health care bill. This is a tax cut bill. And that's just wrong. I shouldn't have to spend a day in a nursing home because some rich person gets a tax cut. My friend Nancy shouldn't have to spend a day in bed without community services because some rich person gets a tax cut. 49% of the children born in Texas over the past 20 years, I'm going to take it from you, were born with the assistance of Medicaid. So 49%, half of the people in Texas under the age of 20 needed Medicaid to be born. should not have to do without their lives, and the next generation should not have to do without their lives, so some rich person can get a tax cut. We're going to spend a little time here today, but it's not going to be enough time, I tell you. I mean, I'm glad all of y'all are here, but you need to call your senators. You need to call your congressmen. I know it's not their turn right now. They've got a much worse bill. But let's see what we can do with the senators right now, because across the country we've had people from ADAPT and many disability groups and other organizations occupying senatorial offices for days at a time, doing without their sleep, without their personal care, or doing without a shower. But fortunately, they've been getting plenty of pizza. Figure that out. So, thank y'all for coming. Tell your friends to call their senator. Tell your friends' friends to call your senator. And when that doesn't work, go down and talk to your senator in person, like a lot of you are going to do tonight. Thanks.
So those are some pretty harrowing statistics that you just heard that Chris and David told you about. But we're here today because 100,000 deaths a year is more than just a statistic. Behind those numbers are members of your family, your friends, your coworkers, and for some of us, perhaps even ourselves. So these are real people's lives that are on the line. So that's why it's extra important that we're out here fighting today and that we continue to fight, as David said. So I'm going to give you guys a brief overview of the program that we're going to be running for the next hour. It's going to consist primarily of two parts. So as we're marching and chanting, we're also going to have a series of ongoing testimonials from people who are going to be personally affected by this bill. They have written letters to Cornyn and have come here specifically to read them to all of us so that they can share their pain and share their concerns. And then we'll be doing that ongoing. And then there's also going to be a letter delivery component to this demonstration here. So we have Lisa and Noah from Indivisible. Can you guys raise your hands over there? They have already gathered hundreds of letters that their organization Indivisible has collected. And we are hoping that you guys have brought your own today. So if you have brought your own, make sure to bring it on over to them or to some of your rally coordinators. We've also got stationery to write your own letters. They have got postcards. So if you want to take just a few minutes and scribble a quick note to Cornyn telling him why this is bad, please go ahead and do that. So with that, I want you to get out your phones and let you know that we have a few hashtags going on today. There are several, but I'm going to call out two of them. One is hashtag Cornyn Vote No. So please take pictures, take videos, and share them on social media with that hashtag. Cornyn Vote No! 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 All right. Cool, and we've got Cornyn Vote No! 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 All right, so we got that hashtag that you guys can use. Good energy. We also have another one that's being used across the nation. It's hashtag Sit In, Save Lives. 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 All right, so I think you guys remember those hashtags now, so make sure you're posting pictures of them throughout the hour. All right, so we're going to have, again, a series of speakers. We have one ready on hand, I guess. We can probably start off with a woman named Laura Cardis. She, again, is the main representative from the Children's Defense Fund, so she's going to say a few words about how this bill negatively affects children. So give her a round of applause, and I'll remind you guys to circulate when needed, as to not block stuff if we have a police presence up here, and please keep it out of the streets, because that's also not something we want happening either. Thanks, so over to Laura.
Hello. It is awesome to see each and every one of you here. This issue demands action, and you are here to show that it is not okay to cut people's health care. It is not okay to take children off of health care, to take people who are living with a disability away for the care that allows them to live their lives day to day. And I just commend you all. You are doing the true work of keeping our country strong and good, and to keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on doing it. And now for my prepared remarks. My name is Laura Guerra-Cardis. I'm with the Children's Defense Fund of Texas and represent the 3 million children that rely on Medicaid for their care. We have been part of a lot of organizing and events like this and public forums. And the phrase that I've heard someone say that is one of my favorites is Medicaid makes America great. And it does. Think about it. It's the program that allows our country to be a place where as many children as possible can be born healthy, where children with special needs can get an education, where parents, no matter their income, are able to get life-saving care for their baby should their baby be born with an issue. Think Jimmy Kimmel's story. That's a Medicaid story for anybody who isn't a bazillionaire. It is a program that allows individuals that we know in our lives, child care workers, house cleaners, home builders, service providers, they're in our community every day and they're invisible. We are surrounded by people that depend on Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act. And their jobs do not offer health care coverage, but because of Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act, they're able to take their child to the doctor when they get sick, and they're able to protect their families from total financial ruin when a health care crisis occurs. How can we even be talking about cutting care for these children and families? What country would we be if we did not provide these basic protections to the youngest among us? I know there's a lot of people here to speak, so I'm going to cut this a little shorter, but we cannot leave children out in the cold. Medicaid cuts need to be taken off the table. No senator should vote for a bill that harms children like this and dismantles the moral fabric of our country. We close by inviting Senator Cornyn and Cruz to attend the next Medicaid Forum on July 16th at 2 p.m. at the First United Methodist Church to come hear directly from their constituents about the critical importance that Medicaid plays in their lives and in our community. Thank you so much, and please fill out your story on those postcards.
Thank you, Laura. We have another speaker. Who do we have here, Cynthia?
So I actually, someone have the time on them? 12:19. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, one part of what we're doing today is to actually deliver a lot of letters up to Cornyn's office. So Glenn has just notified me that their office called down and that their deputy director is willing to allow up to 5 people to deliver those letters. So that's great. I'm gonna have a chat with them. So we have Lisa and Noah from Indivisible. They are over there in the blue shirt and in the red shirt. Please make sure you head over to them and give them your letters if you have not already done so. And would anyone like to join them? 3 people to accompany them upstairs. 3 people. If you're interested, coordinate with Noah over there. They'll be arranging who goes up and whatnot. And in the meantime, maybe we can have a little chant from Chris.
Okay. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Trumpcare has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Trumpcare has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Trumpcare has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho,
Trumpcare has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Trumpcare has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Trumpcare has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Trumpcare has got to go. Hey, hey.
All right, guys, thanks for that chant. Woo! Okay, so before we move on, I actually want to pass over to Derek Crow. Crow. If you guys don't know Derek Crow, he has been a long-term activist in this community. He's especially involved with environmental rights, and as a lot of you probably do know, he is running for House District 21 to represent us in the House of Representatives. Woo! So I believe that Derek has a few words that he wants to say.
Sorry, I gotta go through the banner. Sorry.
Come on, Derek, come on.
Derek's prepared a letter that he himself wants to read.
So I'm actually going to just go off the cuff here because I know this pretty well here. Thank y'all for coming out today. We really appreciate y'all taking some time out of your lunch hour to say no to this immoral, vicious attack on Americans' health. Thank you for taking your time. Give yourself a round of applause for being out here today. Thank y'all. 22 million people are set to lose their health care under this attack on our livelihood by the GOP Congress and Donald Trump. Do we support that? No! We're here to say no. No to the vicious politics of extreme materialism that brought us to this point today. When those 22 million people lose their health care, we know from outcome studies that up to 100,000 people per year will die for lack of health care. Do we support that? No! There comes a moment when the consequences of not standing up for your neighbors are too great for you to sit on the sidelines and be afraid. And we are so proud of you for being out here tonight to join us in that moment. So we are here to also send a very strong message nationally that it is time to get off the sidelines, that yes, there are 22 million people that we need to save healthcare for, but beyond that, there are tens of millions of people that also don't have care yet under the ACA. So we also have to stand up for them and get health care for everyone in this country, everyone, no exceptions. So in just a moment, we're going to be lining up. A few of us have trained for a civil disobedience action that we're going to be doing right here today. So we're going to ask all of y'all who have not yet trained with us for this to please refrain from joining because there are some legal risks, and those that are already joining have already been appraised of it. But we're going to blockade the sidewalk in a moment to send a strong message that we are drawing the line right here for the people that are losing their health care, for the people that are set to die so rich people can have a tax cut. We don't support that here, and we're never going to support it. Thank y'all for coming out today. Give us just a moment. If you are not part of this action, you're going to see us lining up over there. Please give us a wide berth because we don't want you to take legal risks you haven't been briefed for. But thank you again for coming out today. Healthcare for all, healthcare for everyone.
Trained yet, you probably want to back up. Trumpcare has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Trumpcare has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Trumpcare has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Trumpcare has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Trumpcare has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Trumpcare has got to go. Hey, hey. If you've not trained yet, we ask you to refrain from joining the action. If you have not been part of our training so far, we ask you to not join the action so you don't take the extra risk. Thank you.
One of the people participating is Glenn Scott. She is with Sarah, the Texas Alliance of Retired Americans. She is also active in a other group that Left for Life. She has prepared a letter that she would like her friend Tony Padilla from Sarah to read on her behalf, so he's going to be doing that right now.
Thank you very much for coming to this rally. Let me tell you, this is a very moving letter. I'm not going to read everything because I want you to feel what I feel. I'm the secretary of the Texas Alliance for Retired Americans, and she's my president for the Austin chapter of the Alliance. And let me tell you, it's very moving. It brings tears to my eyes if I had to read this letter the way she wrote it. But she's 68 years old, and she's dying from cancer. And now Senator Cornyn has drafted a bill that takes away her benefits, not only for her, but for thousands of retired people that are needed, the children, the poor, the veterans, many people that really need the health care, that the $800 billion that they're robbing from the health care bill are going to be used to give tax breaks to the very rich, the billionaires and millionaires. So let's not allow him to do that, and let's keep on doing the fight. Let's keep on working to make sure that Senator Cornyn listens to us. He needs to listen to us. So thank you very much, and I'm glad to be here.
We, the people of the United States, are gathered and they accuse us of preaching to the choir. There is no choir. There is only we, the people of the United States. I am not talking to him inside an empty building. He is not there. I am talking to you, the people who will make the change. You, the people who represent those who need the three little words that mean so much. Universal health care. Repeat after me. I would not be here with you except for the fact that 40 years ago I was born into another culture that since 1975 had universal health care. Say it again. Universal health care. Bottom line is this: because of Australia's universal health care since 1975, I am here to talk to you alive. I want every one of us, every part of us to survive. I don't want half bills, portions, compromises. What I want is those three little words for we the people, and those words are universal health care, universal health care, universal health care.
All right, Tom, thanks for that. It's my understanding that Beverly Moore is present. Are you in the crowd somewhere? Oh, she's coming. Oh, right here. Oh, did they? Oh, okay, interesting. So we've got some action happening over here with the direct action. I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Beverly. She's going to do the same thing, share her story and share how she was personally affected by this terrible bill that the Senate is trying to push through. Give it up for Beverly.
They're only women, and here I stand today, trying to be civil. It's hard. It really is hard. I've raised three wonderful daughters with son with Down syndrome. We have fought for inclusion in these and schools. Many people are wonderful. Many people are ignorant and not tolerant. But they all belong here. And I want to see some wonderful people who have helped. So instead of focusing on my children's needs, my grandchildren, and their parents, and they're well educated and have good jobs, and are married to their money and have not big good with anything, and are scared for the future of their children. And they're talking about where can we move? Where can we take them? Well, I'm simply for my own battle, and that's it. I will say what I want to say is this redefinition of what we want as entitlement, I would get angry about it, and I didn't take it. Stand straight on entitled. And entitled to basic needs met. And Two to be arrested so far. Part of an act of civil
Ma'am, you cannot block the sidewalk.
activists around the country in 30 cities for getting arrested.
Health care for all. Cornyn, vote no.
Health care for all. Cornyn, vote no. Health care for all. Cornyn, vote no. Health care for all. Cornyn, vote no. Health care for all. Cornyn, vote no. Health care for all. Cornyn, vote no. Health care for all. Cornyn, vote no. Health care for all. Cornyn, vote no. Health care for all. Cornyn, vote no. Health care for all. Cornyn, vote no. Health care for all. Cornyn, vote no. Health care for all. Cornyn, vote no. Health care for all.
Take a wide angle picture.
Before we get started, I just want to remind every one of you that there's a little thing called the Declaration of Independence.
So you're going to have to open this up here.
Right of
As
assembly,
Americans,
Ma'am,
our
we're going to have to
Constitution,
to life and liberty.
right to protest evil, tyranny,
You are entitled to that. That's your right as a
Fourth of
born
July.
American.
our independence. Our healthcare, our lives. Save lives. Sit in. 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 Save lives.
Medicare for all is the only option for all Americans. Signed with the precinct witness by Chairwoman Robin L. Durkin. Thank you.
Anything going on?
No.
Okay. Don't break my shoulder.
I'll do my best.
I'll get right back to you.
Okay.
Trumpcare has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Trumpcare has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Trumpcare has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Trumpcare has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Trumpcare has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Trumpcare has got to go. Hey, hey.
Dear Senator Cornyn, I know that as a U.S. Senator you have access to a great health insurance plan, but I have to tell you that the rest of us do not. It is especially difficult when you have allowed the Texas legislature to have the authority to cut federal dollars from an expansion of Medicaid, and for the most in need Texans, our underserved children. This does not it does nothing but create a massive opportunity for the school-to-prison pipeline, not to mention the underfunded CPS system. Please help us.
I'm gonna walk around.
Thanks.
Okay, great.
Hi there, my name is Elliot McFadden, and I've lived here in Austin the last 25 years, and I wanted to tell you two stories about projects I worked on to help improve our community. The first one was I led the campaign to create the Travis County Healthcare District, which expanded healthcare in Central Texas, asked people who lived outside of Austin to pay their fair share into our system, and has opened clinics all over our region to serve low-income folks. And I want you to know, if this bill passes, we're going to see millions of people cut off Medicaid. Those are folks we still serve in our community because it's the law and because it's the right thing to do. But that is going to mean we are going to be paying for the tax cuts, not only in our income taxes, but locally in our property taxes. Those property taxes are going to go up so that we can serve the people that Republicans are cutting off. There was a study out last week that showed the top 400 richest families are getting a tax cut that is going to be offset by over 700,000 people being cut off of Medicaid. That is absolutely criminal. That is criminal. And I also wanted to tell you and remind you what we could be going back to. The other project I worked on was creating $65 million investment in affordable housing. We are now creating thousands of affordable homes for people to live in. I worked at Foundation Communities, and one of my neighbors that lived in my neighborhood lived in one of our properties. And it was Matt and Sarah, and their third child was born with a severe birth defect.